Okay, let's talk about it. Is $5,000 a month a lot of money as far as your monthly income? If you're a single person, if you are a married person, if you're single with children, is $5,000 a lot of money? Do you consider that a lot of money? Um, so the average one bedroom right now, and that's if you want to be in a place that has amenities. So if you want the place to have washer dryers inside the unit, if you want possibly a gym and a pool, um, good maintenance team, you're likely going to be looking at anywhere between 13, 15, 1600 in Phoenix, okay? And that ranges based on the neighborhood, the area, um, and all the things, okay? So, and they have here also a walkable score, and by that, it's really, that score is for people who want to live near the coffee shops, the diners, the entertainment, um, possibly doctor's offices and all the things, church, you know, all the things that you would need in your community that you don't have to get in a car and per se drive to. So possibly you could ride your bike if you're a bike rider. They have that here, but is $5,000 a lot of money? So they have what's called a formula to calculate how much rent you can afford. And generally, most places here are 2.5 times the rent. So at $5,000, they're saying that you can afford to pay $2,000 in rent. Now, I would say if you're making $5,000, you don't want to cap out at a place that's going to approve you at the $2,000 rate, because guess what? You are going to have your trash, your water, your sewer bill. You're also going to have your utilities, you know, with your electricity, how much power you're using, how much electricity you're using. And then you're likely going to have your internet bill and whatnot, your phone bill. You're going to have whatever bills. You're going to want to get your hair done. You're going to want to possibly pay for your kids' daycare. You're likely going to have groceries, you know, so they don't factor in those things. They're just telling you this is how much you can afford based on what your income is. So it's the same when you're buying a house. Just because you get a pre-approval, just because they say that you can afford to pay, you know, or you can afford a mortgage of $2,700, do not max out at how much you can afford, because other things are going to be factored into that, other expenses that you don't foresee coming, but they're coming, okay? So just keep that in mind. Just because you qualify for a place, don't cap out. Always try to go, I would say, a couple $100 lower, you know, if possible. So if you're coming to Arizona, or if you're already here, you're looking for a place, and you know, you qualify, you income qualify for $2,000. If your income is $5,000, then try to always go a couple to a few $100s lower if at all possible, because life is going to hit. You want to try to put some of that money in your emergency fund, in your savings, so you can build that up, because it's definitely going to be needed in these times right now, okay? So believe it or not, I have a big weight on me as a realtor and a home locator, because I don't always get the success stories of people that I've helped find homes. I get people crying, coming to me saying, I just went through a bad breakup and now I'm on my own, or I just got hit with all the bills and the last lease was in our name. So now the people are coming after me. I don't have the money to pay it. So now I have an eviction, or my credit's been hit, and can you help me find a place? I mean, I hear all the stories. So I would try to say, definitely do what you can to try to avoid an eviction, because trying to find a place with a brand new eviction is going to be tough. A lot of properties will not trust you coming in the door with them. And then also they could possibly fear that you could be sued, which would affect, obviously, your ability to pay rent if your wages are being garnished. So, but yeah, all the stories right now I am hearing. So definitely, most definitely try to put yourself in a position to where you are not going to be one of those people with the evictions. And these days, you know, it takes a hustling mindset, you know, a hustle mindset for people to say, you know, I was $300 short. I didn't know how to get money. Well, guess what? Now they have so many things you can do. They have the TikTok shop. They have the Amazon stores where you can be an affiliate, put your link down. People can start shopping. It takes some work on your end to set it up. You can create digital courses. You can write an ebook. I mean, there's so many things. You can get on and have a private group and invite people to it and charge a monthly subscription. You can go and do DoorDash. You can go and Instacart people's groceries to them. If you know how to do hair, you can do hair. I'm seeing so many people now baking and they're posting their food and their plates and their cookies. You know what? I was at a business today, a pizza shop, and guess what? They were selling these cookies, and guess what? I bought some. So because, you know, they had them on the shelf there and they were marketing for small businesses. So guess what? I was able to support 2 businesses. So it was a 2-for-1 today. So went in to support the establishment. Then they also had some cookies and popcorn they were selling, you know, allowing other entrepreneurs to put their items in the store. So just look for those type of things, guys. You know, it's so many ways out there to get the money that you need. And sometimes the people that come to me, they're literally only just hundreds of dollars short. But, you know, I can't help everybody. I wish I could, you know, geez, that would be amazing if I would start a nonprofit helping everybody who needed a place or who was short on their rent. You know, I know there are some places out there, some programs that do help, like single mothers and whatnot, but I know they often run out of funding and whatnot. But if you're a person that's a hustler, I mean, if you have an automobile, for sure, if you're a man, if you know how to fix things, you can do the handyman. There's so many things you could do. Believe it or not, there's a moth in here, and he's been chasing me around today. So this afternoon he's been chasing me. So I don't know what that means. So if anybody knows what a moth following you around the room means, let me know. But most definitely there's ways to get really creative. You know, I even saw somebody going live and they asked everybody to give $1. You know, they asked everybody that was all their followers and friends to give $1 to help them pay a bill. I mean, you just never know who would help you. And obviously you're going to have some people that feel really benevolent and they're going to chip in more than $1. So that's why I say, you know, you just really have to want it these days. So if you are in the Phoenix area and you are looking for a house, give the timeline about 30 days if you're looking for a house. Houses to rent are going to be a bit harder to qualify for. However, if you have the income, they usually want 3 times the rent. If your credit, I would say, is in the 600s and, you know, no criminal, no history of evictions. Sometimes they'll work with evictions if they're like 7 years old or something like that. But they definitely, for a house, don't want any recent evictions. So I get a lot of people coming to me and say, hey, I got a voucher. Can you work with that? Believe it or not, even with the voucher, you still have to meet the qualifications to get in. So, however, now, if you're looking to buy and you want to get pre-qualified, there are programs out there to help you with your down payment. So there's just down payment assistance programs. So definitely reach out to me today. If you are a veteran, if you are an active military personnel, we definitely would love to help you. I know there is no minimum credit score. However, I do have a lender that will help go over that with you as far as like what your credit needs to look like, or some things you need to do to pay some things down or whatever, because I know it's a possible chance that you may want a house, but maybe you are not sure if you can actually get a house. Okay, so that's where the issue sometimes often lies, is that people don't think they can get a house. Sometimes people don't think they deserve a house. If you go to work every day, you don't want to always be in a place where people are stomping over your heads, or you rarely can find anywhere to park. When you're in an apartment, sometimes you only get one parking spot. Sometimes, you go to the pool, it's packed, so everybody's trying to use the pool, so at the same time. And sometimes if you want a pool in your home, you don't want it in your home, but you want it in your community. There are lots of homes that have a community pool, and the only people that have a key to it are the residents of that township, of that community. So keep that in mind. So it's a little bit private, a little more secure, and you're only going to have, just those few, possible couple hundred, even less, depends on how big a community you buy into. But definitely, a lot of people are already here, and guess what? They have watched the prices go up. But guess what? As the prices go up, sometimes people's income has gone up as well. So there are a lot of people, you're doing great for yourself, and you should be proud of yourself if that is the case. And then I tell people, if you're not doing too well on the income side, there's so many ways now that you can hustle. And it's really about working smarter and not harder, because there's people out there now that are really good writers, and they're doing content for people. There's people out there that are doing social media images for people. If you're really good, you're artistic, you're good with Canva, if you're good with AI and all of that, you can help people with their businesses, give them their time back, help them create some posts and whatnot. A lot of people don't like to post. I know I don't like to post. My goal is to start posting more, and not that I really need to outsource that. I just need to post because, a lot of times we're scrolling anyway. So why not post about your business? Why not post about what you do, what you offer? I feel like we all have something to offer. We all have something that we could share with the world, and something that is marketable. And we all are good at something. We're all great at something. And only we, will be able to get that out, dig that out. Nobody's gonna push you to do it. You have to really find and dig within yourself very deeply, and to try to say, hey, what am I good at? That's why it says, get you a notebook, start writing down what it is that I'm good at, what it is that I'm great at, what do I enjoy doing, what could I be doing for money? Because look down your social media page. You will be utterly surprised. Believe it or not, I have what's called locks, or some people call them dreadlocks, but they're like the micro locks, the smaller version. Believe it or not, y'all, I didn't know this. Somebody has a whole business out there to where she's like the lock removal queen or something. So she's like the lock removal specialist or something. So what she does, she has specialized a way to take down each lock, because so many people want the locks, and then we get tired of the locks. So this is my third time around with the locks. So I'm probably going to be one of those people in a couple of years, and I'll likely be one of them to say, you know what, it was a good ride, but now it's time to shut them down. So she takes down locks, and I think I asked her how long did it take her to take down a set of micro locks, and she said like 10 hours. So it could take her 10 hours to sit there and comb out each one, to take the conditioner. Because guys, these locks are permanently growing this way now. So they're not going to grow out like the hair. Only thing is that my edges and stuff like that, it comes out into the little airflow puff pieces, but the hair itself is going to grow into each little lock that it's in. So That is a business. So each time I have restarted my lock journey, I just cut them off and went bald. Well, now, like I said, that is a business out there where she's the lock removal specialist. Right? Go figure. So people are getting very creative. So, and I don't know how much she charges, to take them down. Maybe $700, $800. I have no idea. But when people want them out, they usually have a whole bunch of hair by the time she takes them down. You're going to possibly lose some hair, but the way she does it, you retain a lot of your length. So it's probably going to be worth it for the people to pay her to take down the hair. So, but I just want to encourage you today, if you are looking for a home, reach out to me. I am your AZ Reload plug, Pamela Scott. To book your consultation, the link is in the bio. I cannot wait to work with you and to hear from you. Be blessed.